Alright, good morning everyone. So today is Friday, marks the last trading day of the week, and this was one of the pairs I analyzed during the pre-market analysis. So if you haven't watched that video, it will be in my Telegram description. Sorry, it will be in my YouTube channel. You can go there and check it out and see how we analyze this pair, GBP card. The setup was actually ready yesterday and we took it, and now you see the uh, price is currently at our entry. So let's see how it will play to the end. But if you haven't taken the trade, you want more trades like this, just check out the link in the description. My Telegram channel will be there. You can click on it and join the free Telegram channel. Anytime I get setups like this, I drop it in the group for everyone to take. So if you haven't joined the Telegram channel, you can do so now. But since we've already analyzed this pair, let me take you through it and see how we got this entry on GBP card. So let's start from the monthly time frame. As we all know, we are swing traders. So here on the monthly time frame, I have my monthly upper zone, my monthly midway zone, and my monthly lower zone. My monthly upper zone, midway, and my monthly lower zone. And on the monthly time frame, you see the price is in an uptrend. Price is in an uptrend, and you can see price has broken out of the monthly upper zone and has done a retest. So we are expecting buying momentum all the way to the monthly upper zone. But before price does that, let's go to the lower time frame and see how we pick this entry on GBP card. So let's go. So here we are on the weekly time frame on GBP card. You could see we have about 18 hours for this week's candle to close, and we are seeing a very nice reversal pattern on the weekly time frame. But before that, I have my weekly upper zone here and my weekly midway zone. My weekly upper zone and my weekly midway zone. And on GBP card, you see, just like what I said on the monthly, price broke out of the monthly up midway zone, and now there's a retest. We are seeing buying momentum all the way to the upside, all the way to the upside. So just like I said on the monthly time frame, you go down to the lower time frame and see how we pick the buy on GBP card all the way to the upside. So let's go to the daily time frame and see what we are doing. So on the daily time frame, we have our daily midway zone here, and just like that, what you are seeing on the monthly and on the weekly is the same you are seeing on the daily time frame. So previously, here our previous analysis, market price was around this area. So we were saying because of this daily resistance zone, we'll be waiting for GBP card to break out of the daily zone, and if we see the retest before we will buy. If we see the retest before we will buy, and price did exactly that, and we also did exactly what we said we were going to do, and that's why we are in a buy on GBP card. So if you want a detailed analysis about how we took the trade on GBP card, you can go back and watch that video and watch it closely so you get to understand everything on that analysis or that pair. So here we are on the 4 hour, and you see the break, the retest, and how we got the entry on GBP card. So this is it on GBP card. This is how we got the entry. So with that being said, let's get to today's pre-market analysis. I have a couple of pairs here, and I'm expecting some very high quality setups on them. So the first pair on my list is NAS 100. But before we go to NAS 100, I also have BTC here. I did the pre-market analysis on before the market opened, and I dropped it on my YouTube channel, and I know a lot of you guys have watched it already. So that's why we have a BTC setup also here running. The same way we took the GEP card is the same video that contains the BTC setup and the GEP card setup. So if you haven't watched that video, I advise you do so now and see how we got to take this entry on BTC USD. So the first pair on my list is NAS 100. That's 100. It's been a while we've traded this pair. Yeah, my community has been asking me, oh, of late you are not trading those pairs, and we weren't trading it because there was no setup for us to trade. We weren't even I wasn't even watching it because there was no setup for me to trade there. I was only watching the pairs that were giving a possible setup. Only pairs that were giving a possible setup. Because NAS 100 wasn't giving any high quality setup, I didn't want to trade it. And more for the past couple of months, NAS 100 has been selling because of the breakout zone, and that's why I say since the direction of the pair was in the upside, I wasn't ready to take the risks to sell. That's not how I trade, so I wasn't going to do that. So since that's not how I trade, I didn't want to also do that. So this, but now I'm seeing a possible quality setup on NAS 100, so that's why we are analyzing it today. So if you haven't joined the Telegram channel, the link will be in the description. When any of these setups are ready, I'll drop them in the Telegram channel. So yeah, here we are on the monthly time frame on NAS 100. I have my monthly upper zone, midway zone, and my monthly lower zone. And on NAS 100, I'm seeing an uptrend. Price broke out of the monthly midway zone, went all the way touching the monthly upper zone. You see them very nice retest tapping into the monthly midway zone again. You see the buying pressure coming in, pushing NAS 100 all the way to the upside. The buying pressure which you are seeing here, pushing NAS 100 all the way to the upside. So as we go to the lower time frames, we are going to be looking for buying opportunity on NAS 100. We are going to be looking for buying opportunity on NAS 100. So yeah, here we are on the weekly time frame on NAS 100, and I have my weekly upper zone and my weekly midway zone. My weekly upper zone and my weekly midway zone. And on NAS 100, just like I said on the monthly time frame, we are in an uptrend. So since you are in an uptrend on NAS 100, you'll be looking for buying opportunities. But on the weekly time frame, I'm not seeing anything which will give us a momentum to buy. So let's go to the daily and see how we can buy, and then go to the 4 hour and prepare ourselves for the possible buy. So here we are on the daily. I have my daily upper midway zone here. My daily midway zone on NAS 100 over here. So on the daily time frame on NAS 100, price is in a downtrend. But the monthly and the weekly are telling us that price is in an uptrend. So what you are going to do is we are going to wait for price to change character, to break price to change character. If we change character from bearish to bullish, then we look for buying opportunities. So this is why I said price is in a downtrend. See, a lower low, lower high, and a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, we see another low. So since price is forming a series of lower lows and lower highs, what you are going to do is you are going to wait for price to break out. So here is the daily, uh, this daily zone seems like a resistance where price is selling at. So we are going to wait for price to break out of that zone peacefully. We are going to wait for price to break out of this daily zone peacefully. If if price breaks out of this zone, then we wait for a retest before we buy on NAS 100, just like we did on GBP card and BTC USD. We are going to wait for price to break out of the resistance. So if price breaks out, then we are seeing a change of character, breaks out, tapping into the zone, or breaks out, just break out of the daily zone nicely. Then we are going to see a pullback. Then we take our buy on NAS 100 all the way to the upside. So let's go to the 4-hour time frame and prepare ourselves for the buy on NAS 100. So here we are on the 4-hour time frame. If you see, like I said on the daily time frame, price is in a downtrend. If you watch closely, price is in a downtrend. You see, high, low, high, low. You see, so is it possible that price will create a new low or just continue going to the upside? So here is this is what you are going to do. We are just going to wait patiently for price to break out, maybe tapping into this zone, but as long as it breaks out, then wait for the retest before we take our buy on NAS 100. So on NAS 100, this is how you are going to take our buy. We are not going to be targeting this zone, we are going to be targeting the upper zone to get a very good rate to reward. Yeah, it's going to be a very long ride. So if you haven't joined our Telegram channel, I advise you to do so now. And if this setup is ready, we are going to ride it on NAS 100. If this setup is ready, we are going to ride it on NAS 100. So this will be the setup on NAS 100. Just wait for price to break out, retest, then we look for a buy. We wait for a candle confirmation. We wait for a confirmation before we buy. So the candle confirmation will be a bullish engulfing, a significant pin bar, or morning star. Any of these candle confirmations will allow us to take our buy on NAS 100. So yeah, that's it on NAS 100, and let's move on to the next pair. So the next pair on my list is CAD JPY. The next pair on my list is CAD JPY. So on CAD JPY, I have my monthly upper zone here, midway zone, and my monthly lower zone. So on CAD JPY, price we are seeing a downtrend on CAD JPY. We are seeing a downtrend because after price tap into this lower zone, went for the upper zone, it's failed to drop, but rather broke out, tapping the higher. Sorry, let me rephrase whatever I said just now. Okay, so from this monthly lower zone, price went all the way tapping to the monthly midway zone, then dropped, creating a higher low, then went for the upper zone. So if we see price tapping to the upper zone and it drops to the midway zone, we should be expecting a buy all the way to the upside. But it failed to do that. Rather, it broke out of the zone, went for a retest, and you could see a continuous drop to the downside. So what you are going to do on CAD JPY is look for selling opportunities. You are going to look for selling opportunity on CAD JPY all the way to the monthly lower zone. All the way to the monthly lower zone. So yeah, here we are on the weekly time frame. So I have my weekly midway zone here. My weekly midway zone. And on the weekly time frame, we see just like I said on the monthly, price is in a downtrend. So you are going to be looking for selling opportunities. So after it broke out, creating a lower low, lower high, equal low, equal high, low, equal high again. When you see a break, the retest, we are seeing another drop to the downside. So as we go to the lower time frame, we are just going to be looking for selling opportunity on CAD JPY. So here we are on the daily time frame on CAD JPY, and if you watch closely, price has been consolidating in this zone. But before that, this is my daily midway zone on CAD JPY. My daily midway zone on CAD JPY. So on CAD JPY, price has been consolidating or ranging in this particular zone for a couple of days now. So since price has been ranging or consolidating, as I said, I always tell you, when price is ranging or consolidating at the higher time frame, you go to the lower time frame and look for entries or possible quality setups. But if price is consolidating at the lower time frame, you stay away from the market. So right now, as I'm a swing trader, my daily time frame is not my higher time frame. My highest time frame is the monthly. So since price is consolidating on the daily, I'm going to stay away from this pair. But that doesn't mean I'm going to stay away completely. I'm just not going to trade this pair until it breaks out of the consolidation. So let's go to the 4-hour and prepare for this entry. We are looking for selling opportunity. So we are just going to prepare the sell down. Anytime price breaks out of the consolidation or the ranging zone, then we look for entries. Anytime price breaks out, then we look for entries. So let's go to the 4-hour and prepare for the entry on CAD JPY. So here we are on CAD JPY. I have my 4-hour lower zone here. My 4-hour lower zone, and if you watch closely, you are in the consolidation or the ranging zone. So what you are going to do is prepare for the entry. So this is how we prepare. We wait for price to break out of the consolidation zone, comes back for a retest, then we take the sell from here all the way to the monthly lower zone. All the way to the monthly lower zone. So this is how we prepare for the entry on CAD JPY. On CAD JPY. This is how we prepare for the entry on CAD JPY. So this will be the setup on CAD JPY. Anytime you just wait, anytime price breaks out of this consolidation zone, anytime price breaks out of it, then we take the sell from here all the way to the downside on CAD JPY. So yeah, that's it on CAD JPY. So let's move on to the next pair. So the next pair on the list is NZD-USD. 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 So on NZD-USD, I have my monthly upper zone, my monthly midway zone, and my monthly lower zone on NZD USD. My monthly upper zone, midway, and my monthly lower zone on NZD USD. So on NZD USD, price is in an uptrend. From the monthly, price is in an uptrend. So if you watch closely at this monthly demand zone, there's a very strong buying pressure over there, a very strong buying pressure on this monthly zone. So anytime price taps into this zone, you always see buying momentum, buying momentum, buying momentum. And price has tapped into the zone again. We are seeing the exact same structure. We are seeing the exact same momentum. So what you are going to be doing is look for buying opportunities on NZD USD. And before I continue this analysis, previously we were looking, okay, let's finish with the analysis, then I add what I wanted to add. So here we are on the weekly time frame on NZD USD. So on NZD USD, I have my weekly upper zone, my weekly midway zone on NZD USD. So on NZD USD, like I said on the monthly time frame, we are in an uptrend. So if you watch, this zone has been a very strong buying zone. There's a very strong buying momentum at this particular monthly zone. So if you see the buying pressure coming out of that zone, you already know the buying pressure over there. So what you are going to be expecting is buys from this zone all the way to the upside. From this zone all the way to the upside. So is that possible? Let's go to the lower time frames and prepare for a buy on NZD USD. So here we are on the daily time frame on NZD USD. So on NZD USD, I have my daily midway zone here, my daily midway zone. And on the daily time frame, like I said on the monthly and on the weekly, we are in an uptrend. We are in an uptrend. But right now on the daily, we see that price has broken out of the weekly zone. We are seeing, so if price breaks out of a strong resistance zone, what you always have to wait for is a retest before we see the buy all the way to the upside. Before we see the buy all the way to the upside. So on NZD USD, what you are going to, let's go to the 4-hour time frame and prepare for an entry for on NZD USD. We are going to be looking for buying opportunities. So let me clear this real quick before we. So here we are on NZD USD and price, like I said on the daily, price has broken out of the weekly zone. So what you are going to be waiting for is a retest on NZD USD. So you are going to be waiting for a retest into the monthly zone before we take our buy on NZD USD all the way to the upside, all the way to the upside. So this is how we prepare for the entry on NZD USD. This will be a very nice setup, and it will, I'm very sure it will. Let's just wait and see how it will play out. So this will be the entry on NZD USD. But wait, someone will ask, what if price doesn't come into this zone, but rather it just sees buying momentum from here and goes to the upside? Okay, so here's how I'll answer that question. If price fails to drop into this zone, but rather just sees buying momentum and continue to the upside, what you are going to wait for is just wait for price to break out of the daily zone. Then we expect a pullback before we take the buy. We enter on NZD USD all the way to the upside. So if price breaks out, we wait for a retest, then we take the buy all the way to the upside on NZD USD. So if price doesn't drop to our weekly zone, price doesn't drop to our weekly zone and give us an entry, we know we are ready to take another entry. We are ready to take another buy at the upside. Just have to wait for price to break out of the zone before we take the buy. So what we are going to do is anytime price comes to our entry, we wait for a confirmation telling us that either buyers or sellers are ready to push the market at our expected direction. And when we see the confirmation, that's what it tells us. So if you get that information, then you know that either buyers or sellers are ready to take an inch, or sorry, are ready to push the market in our expected direction. So yeah, what I wanted to say first was there was, because of this weekly resistance and because of this bearish engulfing candle here, we actually took a sell on NZD/USD at this zone, but right now it's in a loss of because price did fail to drop to the downside, but rather it's going to the upside. It's going to the upside. So I was expecting selling momentum from this weekly zone, but the buyers were so strong that they failed. Sellers weren't able to push the market to the downside. But it's normal. It's normal. It's normal. You don't have to take, you don't have to stress about it. It's normal. If you have been trading for long, you know that those things happen. Not all the time that your setup will play out, but when it plays out, it will play out massive for you. So it's normal. So what I will say is, if you are in this trade on NZD/USD and you're in my Telegram channel, I'll advise you all close the trade. I'm also closing mine now. So we all close our sell on NZD/USD and wait for price to give us a possible buy. If price doesn't give us the buy, we'll still wait and wait and wait. If you wait, it's better than you taking a loss. Waiting is always better than a loss. So we are cutting loss on NZD/USD now. So if you are in the trade, close the trade now. Close it now. As you have watched this video, close your NZD/USD trade now. I've also just finished closing mine. So yeah, that's it on today's pre-market analysis. Let's see how this setups or this analysis will go. So if you haven't joined my Telegram channel, the link will be in my description, will be in the description. And if you want to also get access to my mentorship class, where I mentor my students one-on-one. I teach you everything I know and everything that there is to know in the forex market. Either you're a complete beginner, or you are now interested in learning forex trading, or you already have a knowledge about the market, but you want to gain more knowledge about the market. My course is for all of you guys. And yeah, that's just it on. Yeah, that's it. So if you haven't joined the Telegram channel, the link will be in the description. If you want to contact me, my contact will also be in the description. You can just take it and text me on either WhatsApp or any of my social media handles, and I'll get right back to you. So if this is your first time watching this video, hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification, so anytime I drop a new video, you get a notification that I have dropped a new video. So if you haven't liked this video yet, do so now. Like it, comment and share with your family and friends. So you can support my channel and help us all grow together. So yeah, that's it for today, and